This program is brought to you by Stanek for finance in the fast lane. And it's off to Kyalami we go for the 5th round of the Stanek Group N National Saloon Car Championship race. And Shawn van der Linde, up from the BMW development team, took over Tony Viana's car and promptly set up pole position.
Robbie's also going very well. It's my first time that I've got a race with him, so I don't know. He's got much more experience than me, but I'm a little bit quicker than him, so I hope that's a benefit for me. We're going much better with our car now. It's actually Tony's car. I would say, look, I come from a single-seater, so in the setup, Tony's much better, obviously, than me in setting up a car. I don't know what it's supposed to handle like. That's why I think I'm going much better in his car, because we set it up the way. And I think that Tony and myself got much the same driving style. So his car actually suits me very well. And I think that's why it's working out for me.
Now, this has always been a BMW track, and it's always been said if an Opel can get within 2 seconds of the top BMW, you're doing quite well. Well, I'm about 1.5 seconds off Van Linde, who's on pole, and about 1 second off Robbie. I think they may hold each other up in the race. I'm hoping they're going to have a big fight up front, which will give me a chance to get closer. Then third on the grid is Van Schalkwijk, who's fractionally quicker than me, about 0.5 second. But if my plan is to really go quickly in the start, trying to hang in there, and I suspect their tyres are going to go up faster than mine. So if I'm with him after about 4 laps, I feel I can maybe outrace him towards the end.
And these Class A cars, racing behind the new Stanek Sat cars, are enjoying a rolling start for the first time. Van der Linde, with rocket acceleration, just gets away from Van Schalkwijk on the right-hand side of the road. We've got Robbie Smith. Looking back from Van der Linde's car, there's Robbie Smith with the Firehawk on the bonnet, and on the inside, shouldering his way around, there's Grant Van Schalkwijk. Chad Wenzel just behind him. As they go into the two left-handers of Nashua corner, Smith going very wide, passing a Sat car. Oopsie, there's the two Toyotas take each other out as they go around Nashua corner, and that pack of Opel super bosses, as always, engaged in a do-or-die battle. It's Van der Linde easily opening up that gap. That Viana car that he's taken over certainly has acceleration. There's Van Schalkwijk, Wenzel. Then we've got Leon Marais in the Port Delta car, John Craig and Shawn Watson-Smith. It's Van der Linde already opened up a 2-second lead, and he's halfway around the first circuit. Beautifully set up car, set up by the old master in the BMW team, is Tony Viana, now gone on to Sat car racing. Van Schalkwijk being worried there by Wenzel. And here comes the Opel Superboss squad, led by Marais and Craig and Shawn Watson-Smith, and the bodyman Opel, that's the black one at the back there, Kurt Elchin of Port Elizabeth. The hottest 16-valve 2-litre cars in the country. But it's the shadow lines in the front, and Robbie Smith is having to hold second position there. He won the last 3 races in Stanek Group N Racing, and Shawn van der Linde is starting to show him the way around. And there's that Opel squad hard at it again. They put on a show like this at the Grand Prix meeting, and they do it every time they appear around the circuit. It's Van der Linde. He's now opened up his lead to something like 3 seconds as he comes across the line. Robbie Smith is next. Grant Van Schalkwijk, also a development team driver, moved up now. Then it's Chad Wenzel in the Auto Atlantic of Edenvale car. And it's Craig and Shawn Watson-Smith. They've passed Leon Marais, and then it's Kurt Elchin. Nice steady piece of driving from the South African driving champion, and that's Shawn van der Linde, a man who works with motor cars in company with his father, Henny van der Linde, a famous racer in South Africa, also top tuner, and he certainly lives in that atmosphere of motor cars and racing. It's still Craig. And Marais now fallen back there with Elchin starting to close on him. And they're trying very hard. You can hear that tortured rubber hard at it. Also a bit of a tyre war going on. The room in the pit said that the Goodyear supposedly supplied new rubber to the BMW works team to take on the Firestone rubber fitted to the JSN car of Robbie Smith. Craig from Cape Town, a former motorcyclist. He's still got Shawn Watson-Smith closing on him. And as we come to the flag and the end of 8 laps, it's Shawn van der Linde, 5 seconds ahead of Robbie Smith, and then comes Grant Van Schalkwijk in the BMW. First the Opel, Shawn Watson-Smith, Chad Wenzel and John Craig. And now time for classes B, C, D and E from 1400cc up to 2 litre. On pole position for the first time ever, Charles Wilkin, 0.7 of a second ahead of his teammate Steve Wyndham, who spoke to on the line.
We've got the quick distance behind us. They're very quick in the straight line, obviously, with a 2 litre. So we've got to get to that first corner first, otherwise we're going to battle to pass him. But our cars are really going well. They're stopping well, handling well. So we hope to pull it off.
And let's see if these plans come together. There's the two rally drivers in the BP Nissan team. That's Nick de Waal, we're in with now, and alongside him is Hannes Robler. Ahead is the pole man, Charles Wilkin, as they spin away from the line. It's all hard acceleration down. There's the other classes going right down to the Brat Pack in the 1400cc class. 35 cars in action. What a traffic jam. And the acceleration of the 2-litre Nissan goes on the inside of Wyndham. We're in with Nick de Waal at the moment. He goes round the second of the S's. He keeps wide because Wyndham's having nothing of it as they go through. He has to line up behind him as he goes through Nashua Corner. Then it's Wilkin, then it's Krobler, and that whole pack there. Gary Bergstrom in the Fiat Uno and Leon Odendahl. There's the 1400cc. Oh, and Shawn Tudor gets pushed around there by Peter Gow, and he gets nailed by Garth Jones. That's a very, very heavy one on the outside of Nashua Corner. A lot of damage. You might remember Shawn Tudor had that big one at Kyalami in January. And for the rest of the field, there's lots of action as they make for Clubhouse Corner. There's the 1400s, the green Saffic Opel of O'Sullivan has Edwards closing. Marshall's is always quick on the job at Kyalami. Tudor's out of his motor car, but Garth Jones is certainly, he's hurt his shoulder in that motor car and he's getting medical attention. And in the front, it's Wyndham. Then it's Nick de Waal, and he's been lent on there by Charles Wilkin. He's really come alive at this meeting in a very fast little 1600 conquest. And Roddy Turner is putting it across there. Janiel de Villiers and Sagrenier in the Volkswagen Golf. He comes from Uitenhage. And there's the Brat Pack, the green cars, the Saffic Opel of Sullivan, and the red one, you've got to watch it, is Mark Edwards. Here comes Wyndham, already 2 seconds ahead of Nick de Waal, Charles Wilkin and Hannes Robler. Then the two Fiat Unos, back in racing after being falsely accused of too much turbo pressure. But needing attention, Garth Jones, the ambulance, very quickly on the job. This is going to set back the race. The yellow flags will be out. The competitors will have to slow down. They've got to stay in their running order. And we're in with Nick de Waal. Ahead is Steve Wyndham. Double flags as they come up to Nashua Corner. This means slow down, stay in your order. Nobody's allowed to pass. Through the first to the left-handers at Nashua, the second one there, and he gets a bad bump there. It's Charles Wilkin coming past, nearly taking out that ambulance and the marshal's truck. That's going to be serious trouble for him and possible disqualification. There he is, nailing Nick de Waal as he came through Nashua, accelerating away, and that'll be definitely him out of the results in this one. Very dangerous situation there on the outside of Nashua Corner. And in front it's Wyndham, still Wilkin, and Hannes Robler's now closing on the other BP Nissan of Nick de Waal. Then comes the Unos, and they've been challenged there by Brian Late in the little Toyota Conquest. And there's the 1400cc class. O'Sullivan comes through with Edwards on his tail. Deon Joubert's there as well, and Paolo Franceschi as they come up the hill. We go back with the leading cars, and here comes Brian Late. He's starting to put pressure there on Leon Odendahl. Gives him a nudge as he comes through. He wants to try around the outside. He's got Gary Bergstrom, the former motocross, ahead of him too. But almost doing it at a doddle there, Steve Wyndham. Wilkins now starting to close a wee bit, but that's his teammate. Here's Nick de Waal. Here's Hannes Robler. There's Gary Bergstrom, Odendahl and Brian Late, and then Chris Clark in the Moby Jack Conquest. It's just revving these cars as hard as they can go. And as we come to the flag, Wyndham's going to take it ahead of his teammate Charles Wilkins. So 1-2 for the Toyotas. And a little further back, here they come up the road now, is Nick de Waal and Hannes Robler. Class D won by Roddy Turner ahead of Zagreb, and Class E was won by Edwards. And here we are again in with the Class A heavies in the second race. And away goes Shawn van der Linde. Tucking in behind him is Robbie Smith, getting a toe as he goes down to the total S's. We're in with Grant van Schalkwyk, and Chad Wenselson to put his nose in there as well. Looking back from van der Linde's car, this time Robbie Smith's a lot closer and putting on a lot of pressure. They've done a lot of adjustments in the pit to get this car closer to the Works BMWs as they come up to the first of the right-handers at Nashua. And he starts to give him a little nudge to let him know he's there. And of course Shawn van der Linde knows he's there. And another one as he comes through. And he's trying to harass him. But van der Linde's having nothing of it. As the traffic starts coming around Sunset, they meet a spinning Serge Damsou in the Satcar race. It's Robbie Smith close up there to Shawn van der Linde. Chad Wensel's got through to third position ahead of Van Schalkwyk, and John Craig is leading Sean Watson Smith. And then it's Kurt Elchin in there, Leon Moret's car, a little bit off song in this afternoon's racing. Van Schalkwyk leading the second phase of this race. Wenzel having his best outing in that Auto Atlantic car is holding fire. But right on van der Linde's tail, look at this. Under the bridge, flat out through Caltech's corner. It's Robbie Smith trying on the left-hand side of van der Linde. That's not good enough. heavy on the brakes as they go through the Panasonic corner. He tries to accelerate away on the inside, but Van der Linde's car is an aeroplane and just accelerates away. BMW certainly got this one right, and the JSN team will have to go back to the drawing board to get more speed. But look at the talent of Smith. He tries on the outside. He's trying to gain on the inside. He's harassing him all the way, trying to put him off, waiting for a mistake. Gets another car length as he goes down towards Sunset Corner. They line up for Sunset. They don't lift one little bit as they go through. Then the tortured rubber takes over. As they come out there, Robbie Smith is trying hard. He's tried to sell him a dummy there. It is Van der Linde to go on the outside, and he just holds his line, a perfect line through Clubhouse. And Robbie Smith has got a whole station behind him. But he's giving him the odd nudge. He's staying in close. When Van der Linde looks in his mirrors, all he sees is Firehawk and JSN BMW behind him. And the gap is opened up to about a half a second, but Smith is not finished yet. Onto the shelf at Westbank they come, and way back there is Grant van Schalkwyk ahead of Wenzel. Craig is closing in, and so Shawn Watson-Smith. Very late braking. You brake as you come over the shelf to a blind corner, and then to these two left-handers and accelerate down the hill as they do down the mine shaft. That's all there is now after many laps of racing. Hard braking for Conti. And Van der Linde, experienced driver, you're not South African driving champion for nothing, is holding his line as they come under the bridge. They're going to go through the right hand at Caltex, flat out, they don't lift. And now it's onto the brakes for the left hand at Panasonic, down to about 90 kilometers an hour. And the other race just behind there. Craig's now got past there to Wenzel. He's up from Cape Town as well. Wenzel having his best outing at Kyalami. And Van der Linde still ahead. He broke the lap record, set it at 2 minutes dead in the first race. They've broken it again. He did a 1:59.8, and Robbie Smith's down to a 1:59.79, the new lap record. So they are really trying. Wenzel takes back his 5th position there ahead of John Craig. He's not letting him have any of it. Wenzel, of course, well remembered in single-seater racing as Craig goes for the inside as they go to Caltex corner. But it's going to be Van der Linde at the flag ahead of Robbie Smith. He's just a second ahead. Grant van Schalkwyk and John Craig getting Wenzel at the end. And now back to Heat 2 for classes B, C, D and E. Wyndham on pole position. Charles Wilkin having to start from the back of the grid due to his disqualification in the first race. Wyndham spins it away. He misses a gear change, and along comes Hannes Grobler alongside him as they go down to the total S's on the first lap. And Leon Odendahl is challenging Wyndham as well. Here comes Nick de Waal. He's going round the outside of Grobler. It's the two Nissans in front now as they accelerate up the hill there towards the two left-handers. It's de Waal going into the front with Hannes Grobler on his tail, and trying to go through on the inside is Odendahl. Going round the outside, the colourful Steve Wyndham. And there's the Class E battle. Watch for the red car closing up on the green one. That's Safik Opel of O'Sullivan. That is heavy racing. These cars so evenly matched. And it's Nick de Waal starting to get away from them in all that traffic. He got away first, and Hannes Grobler, playing shotgun for him, following in team orders, is keeping Wyndham out. And he's got a car that's got enough acceleration to keep it very wide down the road, and that track very narrow for Wyndham. And Nick de Waal up the hill onto the brake marks at Westbank corner, and here comes Wyndham now trying on the inside. It's going to be late braking. This old rally hand knows all about it. Wyndham's going to try a wide line, then go through on the inside and try and accelerate down the hill on the inside, but he's going too fast. It understeers wide. There he's going for the inside, but guess who's there? It's Hannes Grobler in that 2-litre motor car. Here's the rest of the pack, the Class D cars. Roddy Turner once again in the front with Janelle de Villiers, and here comes Edwards charging there on Sullivan, who defends his line into the corner. They touch bumpers. He's trying to tighten that line too as he goes through the second left hand at Westbank, but Sullivan's having nothing of it. And Nick de Waal in the centre, every moment getting further away from his teammate and those charging Toyotas behind. And Charles Wilkin, the third one in this group, has come right up from the back of the grid and is starting to challenge. So he's really had a great drive coming through this field. Brian Late squeezing his way around there with Gary Bergstrom, the motocross, and they're having a great dice. This is a feature of all standing Group N racing. And there's Wyndham now, trying in a very risky part of the circuit. He's gone wide. He wants to go through in the inside and use all the acceleration he's got as he goes alongside. Hannes Grobler, is he going to be able to get? He's bringing Wilkin along with him. And a little further back, the Class E war continues. Robin Forbes gets nailed there by Chris Boucher, and they all run into him. 96 is Chris Boucher running into the back of Forbes. But in the meantime, Wyndham has muscled his way past Hannes Grobler, now getting the treatment there from Charles Wilkin. Going wide, trying to take him on the outside. This one's not going to work for him. Now he's going to try through on the inside. This young driver certainly is getting a lot of experience racing with these old hands at Group N Racing. And de Waal, he's got enough of a lead there. Krobler's done a great job of getting him ahead. He's ahead of Wyndham. There's not much Wyndham can do, although he's closing up on him. His race is run. It's Krobler still getting attention there from Wilkin, trying through on the inside as he goes for Caltech's corner. Up the hill they go. It's foot flat. He's got the line through on the inside, and he makes it through there. So it's Nick de Waal to the flag winning Class B. C went to Wyndham and Wilkin. D to Roddy Turner, Nair and Janelle de Villiers, and Class E, Edwards, O'Sullivan and Franceschi. So let's have a look at the championship positions after 9 rounds. Robbie Smith looks comfortable there, Class A. Nick de Waal dominating Class B. And in C, Wyndham, also comfortable. Roddy Turner, a big fight in his hand with Janelle de Villiers from pole. And Mike O'Sullivan will have to put foot if he's going to catch the reigning champion in Class E, Mark Edwards.